Thank you very much again, Mr. Bailey. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President and the Board of Directors of the Jamaica Football Federation, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this press launch. As the Reggae Girlz start their journey on February 17, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the National Stadium, Kingston, Jamaica, against Bermuda to qualify for the FIFA World Cup in Australia and New Zealand in 2023. I urge all Jamaicans to come on board and give your support to this team. I ask the pledge of corporate Jamaica that we are seeking your full support, because without corporate support, we will not be able to make it to where we want to go, and it will be very, very difficult. Let us all as a nation give what we can to make history again. Even your prayers will help. Come, Jamaicans, come again. Let's do it with God's help and with the support of all, and especially corporate Jamaica. We ask you to come on board once again and help us to get the resources that we need to take our ladies to the next World Cup. Remember, Jamaicans, we're little, but we're talawa. Strike hard, Reggae Girlz, strike hard. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Walker-Brown. Very just to the point. Actually, your message would be aimed directly at the Jamaican public and also at the private sector, because it's important. When you look at the amount of money that has been spent over the last 6-7 months, and to start the journey again, spending hotels locally, hotels abroad, private transportation, that's air transportation from country to country. It's a lot, and therefore we think that this team is deserving of all that, and we think that they are in a position, I think, to actually do Jamaica proud. And so we are asking the private sector and Jamaica at large to come on board and help the girls. All right, now to get into the meat of the matter, we have the man of the moment, Mr. Vin Blaine. And I want to say welcome again, Vin. This is the second press conference, and you know, you have been in the spot before, in as far as trying to qualify a team. But you must be a happy man and a nervous man at the same time, with the men team not qualifying, and then you have a team, a very strong team of women, of ladies, of great players who Jamaica would be looking at you and them to actually make us proud.
Yeah, thanks, Earl. Good to be here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the journey. You know, you said great players. We do have some good players, and I think it's for us now to start the journey, start training, start with our first game against Bermuda. We are not looking at any. All the teams are going to show respect to. Everyone is doing what Jamaica is doing now. I think we set the trend of bringing in overseas players to shore up our team. So, you know, it starts come the 17th. I hear you asking the fans to come out, you know, and support, and corporate Jamaica to support. I think now we are at a stage where we can earn that support. And it's for us to, as the team, to go and earn the support of corporate Jamaica and the fans.
Right. Now, as I said earlier on, maybe there must be some butterflies in your stomach as you look at the team, you look at the professionals you're going to work with now, players from Italy, from Germany, from England, from the US, from all over, who have international experience, top club experience. You must be happy looking at the list of players that you have in front of you.
Definitely. I mean, as I said before, we have good players. I think we all can say to it, and Elaine too been here all along. Elaine been there. She know the players from that I had from like 2005. This is potentially the best team we have ever had, or assembly of players. They're experienced, and that makes it a little bit easier for me. Tactically, they're more aware. It's just for us to bond as a team now, and also for me to earn their trust and respect to get them to the point where we want them in the World Cup. Elaine says World Cup, and that's what's all in my mind.
All right. So I asked. Thank you.
Yeah, but I was saying, yeah, the Reggae Boyz, you know, as I know that they didn't make it. That's our team that really leads the thrust of football within the association. We, as the women's program now, decide we have to pick up the pieces right now, you know. But I'm not focusing on what they did. We have to focus on what we have to do. That's the most important thing for me.
Right. So can you go ahead now and speak about the players that you have selected?
Yeah, yeah, we can get that up on the screen so for the media to really jump on it. Yeah. So, all right. So we start. Most of the players have been, the core group of the players have been around for the past few years. Sydney Schneider, a goalkeeper. The first three names are goalkeepers: Sydney Schneider, Rebecca Spencer, Yasmin Jameson. I have known Yasmin from she was like 14. Actually was an outfield player, but she has converted to a keeper for a long time. Sydney been around from the under 17s. Rebecca now, who is newly recruited from Tottenham, another goalkeeper. Quite an accomplished goalkeeper. Very good with her feet. You know, so I'm looking, we have three good goalkeepers to begin with. Chantel Swaby has been around from before, from the past, from the World Cup, first from 2019, so she's quite an experienced player. I'm still getting, can we mute that person?
I don't, Deborah, could you mute?
Deborah can control the muting.
Except Vin.
All right, so before I move forward, as I said, most of these players have played before and quite seasoned campaigners. We were without a few players that were invited because of documentation issues. Looking forward to having them in the near future. But these are the girls that we have chosen and that I have selected. We still have a formidable squad, experienced players and some new faces that I'm taking the opportunity to look at. So you have Vian Simpson, is a defender. She's a central defender. Logan McFadden is a young
Where's
player.
the bathroom?
We need to get these people. Yeah. So Logan McFadden is a
bathroom?
young.
Thank you.
We're not getting it muted. Yeah. So we have Chinilu Asher, former player from under 17. She played under 17, under 20 for Jamaica. Now she's in the senior team. Kayla Mccoy, a new player from out of from Glasgow Rangers in the UK. She plays forward, but I think she'll be able to play probably in a withdrawn striker position to support Khadija Bonnie Shaw. I don't think Khadija needs a lot of introduction. Top player in the world as we speak with Manchester City. She has been with the team from she was 15 years old. She been with under 15, under 17, you know, coming right through. Set an example for players coming through. Sashayana Campbell, a veteran from within our own Sherwin-Williams Premier League for women. She has played locally not unattached right now, but she is being played as a wing back. Very good at midfield also, playing on the wing. Alison Swaby, another sister of Chantel Swaby, solid player in the middle. Plays overseas also. Wiltshire, who is a very speedy wing back on the right, plays the right fullback. Shadi, which I wouldn't take an opportunity to just try and pronounce Shadi's name. But she has been with the team from the very start. She played also under 20 and a good solid little player. She's in university also. And she's the type of player that can play on both sides of the pitch and also up top. So she's a player that we can use and in any position up top. Trudy Carter been playing at the under 17. She traveled with the team all over. Very tricky player, a player that you can use to really roam on the pitch and get some work done up top. Good player, I think, that plays behind, will be playing behind Bonnie, that can get the ball through to her. Tiffany Cameron, quite a wily player on the right side, and she plays wing, fast, tricky, have good technical skills. Jody Brown, I don't know what we can say about Jody Brown. Jody Brown has been, and Ilian can tell you, we discovered Jody when she was 12 years old in our parish at a grassroots festival. And she has turned out to be one of our champion players. Very, very, very good. 100%, 200% improvement, and will bring a lot of quality to the wing, to the middle, to the pitch on both sides of the field. Gabrielle Gale, she's a defender, one of our own homegrown players as well. Plays defense, doing very well in college, and we're looking forward to have her on the team. Now we have twins coming in, new recruits. They were fortunate to be brought in. When I say fortunate, not because I think they can't play, is that we had to recruit them after we had to. We weren't getting some of the players coming in, so it's a chance for me to look at them. One plays defense, one plays up top. They're presently in the University of Maryland, so they're at the University of Maryland, and I'm looking forward to look at them, what they can offer to the team. Maria Gray is somebody that was with the team before she was injured, but back in now, a speedy winger, and I think she will add something maybe to some of the players that we have not been able to get. So I'm looking forward to work with her. We call her Kiki Kalisa Van Zanten. She's in college also. She actually was at the camp, but never got an opportunity to play. My first time going to be working with her too. She's a forward. Spoke with her coach. Coach gave her a good review. I'm looking to see what she has. So I'll take it. It'll give me an opportunity to look at her also. I think Roy, can you scroll that up? So thanks, Roy. All right. So now Dominique Bonflaz, I've been with the team before. She played on the right wing back position. Experienced enough with the team. She has bonded with the girl before, and I'm looking forward to her again. Finally, a name that maybe a lot of people will not remember. I don't even know if just Walker remembers her. Alika Keen. She was recruited years ago and played under 17, under 20. Right, so she is back. No, she was playing she actually was playing in Italy with Trudy Carter in the same league. So she's back in now to, she's coming in a bit. Have to see what she has to offer the team, right? So that's the list of players. Quite I think a formidable team. Looking and I see. I'm looking forward to them doing quite well in the tournament.
Thank you, Coach. Of course, when you look at this team, you can't help but thinking positive and thinking that 2022 clearly would be a big year, but 2023, it should be a fantastic year. All right, we're not going to hold on to the journalists much longer. So those who want to ask questions, you just put your hand, you raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you. And then you can go ahead and ask your question. And the first person up would be Daniel Wheeler from the Gleaner. And I just want to say congratulations to Daniel Wheeler. He has been nominated by the Press Association of Jamaica for a couple of awards. I think one of them is the Young Journalist of the Year. Go ahead, Daniel.
Thanks, Earl. Really appreciate it. Coach, obviously it's a big day, considering that now that, you've revealed your team to take on this journey, and congrats on that and all the best for the campaign. Two questions to just start off. You mentioned that there were some players that you would want to have gotten in, but regarding some documentation issues. One of the notable names that I see not on the list is Drew Spence from Chelsea. Was she one of those names that you wanted to bring in that obviously had those documentation issues? And two, what can you say in terms of the mix of your team? Is it the balance that you hope to have regarding attack and defense?
Definitely. Well, as I said, the team is a very deep. We have a deep squad, which afforded me to be able to replace players who originally was in my mindset to be on the first team. So you mentioned Drew Spence. Yeah, she's one of the persons that one of the players that are their documentation has been delayed a bit. So we had to take I had to take a decision to bring in other players. Most of the players on here, apart from the newer ones that the twins that I mentioned, Michaela, the Days twins, most of these, if not all of them, were in the squad before. So it's not a matter of me switching around. The other players, which we should have gotten for this first round, would be Satara Murray. She plays in Bristol City. She actually. She's actually, all these players that played in the game between the Nigeria to the Costa Rica game. So not that as if they'd never played before. So we have Jade Bailey, who is a good central midfielder. She is with Liverpool, very good central midfielder. And then you have Atlanta Primus, who plays in London City with London City Lionesses. She's if anybody watched the game. That against Costa Rica, it was she had gotten the penalty in that game, and you have Paige Bailey-Gale, who is out of Leicester City too. So those are really top players that are missing from the squad. Hopefully we'll get them going forward.
Mm-hmm. And just a follow up to that question, to the questions that I had, when will be the so have you sorted out in terms of training camp? Obviously, for the international players, it's going to be tricky regarding their last date to come in will be just before the Bermuda game. But what is the plan for training camp, and in terms of for the players that you can get to the island?
We won't call it a training camp. Unfortunately, because of the FIFA window, most players will not be able to come in that time. I mean, outside of the window. So we will definitely. They're all coming on the 14th. All players coming in on the 14th, and we have practically three trainings. The first training day is the 15th, and that will be treated as a recovery day in a sense. So the intensity of training won't be there. So we train on the Tuesday after they come in, and then we have one official training on the 16th at the National Stadium. So it's not really a camp as such, but all the players are experienced. All of them are playing, except for a couple who are not attached. But all players are playing. So it's just for me to organize in the way I want them to play.
No problem. I'll leave it there from now. I'll let my colleagues have a shot. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thanks and congratulations to you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right. Thank you very much, Daniel. All right. I just want to say that we welcome representatives from the Bob Marley Foundation with us this morning. Thank you for joining us. You have been invaluable over the years. Your support, we can't quantify. We thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's go to Robert Williams.
Thank you very much and good morning, everyone. Coach, welcome once again. You have pretty much answered the question that I was going to ask because I wanted to find out about the other players, but you have pretty much answered that. But against the background that the Reggae Boyz have failed to make progress, the expectation from the girls are even much higher now. And with the big team that you have announced here today, not having much time before you start with them, the fact that they come in on the 14th, how are you going to be maneuvering what you plan to do with them throughout this first round of the campaign?
Robert, welcome on it. The beauty about a team like that one, this set of girls, the beauty about that they're experienced, they are playing at a higher level. So what my job is not to, I can't change I can't develop their technical abilities. So it's all about tactical work, and tactical work is how we want them to play. In my game model, this is how I want to play in certain parts of the field. This is what I want to do when we have the ball. This is what I want to do when we lose the ball. I think they're intelligent enough players that they can get that across. I can get that across to them without any problem.
And just as a follow-up, you're not going to be meeting them until the 14th, but how have you been impacting on them since you have put this squad together?
I've had a few Zoom meetings with them where I sort of explain my approach and how I would love for them to integrate into the team. As I said, fortunately for us, they have played together before. Not all, but some have played together. So I'm looking forward to that. I've just recently, I had a Zoom meeting with one particular player who I wanted to correct certain things that I saw her doing a game. So I did a presentation with her where I worked with her on the fundamentals of her position and how she should approach the game. And I think that's all I could do, not seeing them face to face. Looking forward to having them on the first day where we have our team meeting, where we can sort of get to see face to face and get a different feel outside of a Zoom meeting.
Thank you very much, Coach. All the best.
Take care, man. Thanks so much, Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Before we move to the next question, Coach, could you unveil, every coach that comes in, new coach, they have their own idea of support. Could you tell us your backroom staff, people who you were working with?
Yeah, I don't know if Roy has that, but if not, I'll read it. We have Everton Edwards as my first assistant coach. Everton worked with me in 2006 in our World Cup qualifiers. His background is with he coached a Division I college team in Miami, Florida International University for better part of 23 years. He coached there until he went back to UK. So he and I have worked together before, so I'm comfortable with him. And when I'm talking about coaching college, I'm talking about the women's team at FIU. A couple of our players that I were playing for the national team came on his coaching. We have a young female coach, Tony Cowan, who actually is now doing her UEFA B license through Scotland. She has coached high school, she has coached club teams, she has coached UTEC, Woolmer's High School. I think it's a very good opportunity for her to hone her trade right now. So she's their second assistant coach. Our team manager, I should tell you, our team manager now is Crystal Waters. I've known Crystal for pretty close to maybe 15 years, if not more. She played football. She knows the game. She in the interim, she had assisted Jean Nelson, who passed, as you know, with her work. So she is quite a good, talented young lady, and she knows. And it's good when you have a player, a manager who knows the game. So, and she has been doing a fantastic job since she has been appointed, and it's the first it's been put out there that she's the manager. So that's Crystal Waters. we have Sanford Carabin, who is the analyst. He has been with the team from the World Cup, so he has been retained as an analyst for the team. He works also with the Reggae Boyz. Clive Weatherburn is a goalkeeper coach. He's sort of an interim goalkeeper coach, but he is affectionately called Spider. He has developed just about every goalkeeper that plays for Jamaica. He has been integral in their development. We have Harry Nelson, who's a strength and conditioning coach. He's a graduate of GC Foster with a degree. He also works with occasionally he had worked with the national program for the boys program and the female program. He works with Jamaica College as their strength and conditioning coach. And he actually had worked with me in the US Virgin Islands when I was there before I left. Jason Henry, he high performance coach. He worked with the squad from the 2019 World Cup. He has been there, so he has a lot of experience. Ronald Watson is the equipment manager. He's experienced. He actually works with Portmore United. We call him Blacks for those who might know him by that name. Sandria Codling is a physiotherapist. She has also a lot of experience. She's has been with the team before, so the ladies are used to her. Sorry, Dr. Jillian Lawrence, our team doctor. I've worked with her before I left Jamaica. She is I've known her for quite a while too. She has worked with me at under 17, under 20 levels and the senior team level. So, looking forward to working all of these, the staff that we have assembled.
Thank you, sir. All right, and just one more thing. The president has asked me to announce that all fully vaccinated former national women's player, they are invited to the stadium for the game. So as long as you're fully vaccinated, you can, when the platform opens, you can register on the platform and you'll be accommodated at the stadium for free. So all former national players, all right? Just register and you must be fully vaccinated. Let's go now to Karen Madden.
Thanks, Earl. Good morning. Good morning, Coach. Good morning, colleagues. Earl, firstly, housekeeping, I'm sure you're going to email us the list of players as well as the backroom staff.
Will do, absolutely.
Okay. Right along with the recording of this press conference. Coach, one of the names that I don't know if my brain just didn't see her, but I didn't see former captain Kanya Plummer. Is that an omission? And if so, could you explain? Everything else has already been covered by questions from my previous questions from my colleagues. I just need you to clarify Kanya Plummer.
Thanks, Karen. Yeah, is a definite omission, but not something I could control. So that's it. It's something that, that's something that happens.
Okay, part of life.
Put him on the spot, Karen. Put him on the spot.
Absolutely.
You're good, Karen. You're good. All right, let's move now to Crystal Davis. And Crystal is over there in London. How's it in London today, Crystal?
Well, surprise. Good morning, all. Good morning, fellow colleague. And congratulations to Daniel on his award nom. Earl, it's actually decent weather today. So it's not very British, so that's good. So yeah, it's looking all right. Long may it continue.
All right, I know you're a supporter of the Reggae Girlz, so go ahead.
Definitely, bleeding black, gold, and green. Speaking of putting people on the spot, Mr. Blaine, last time I asked you this question, you pretty much bat it beyond the boundary, so I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this one. So I'm just touching on where Miss Madden left off. Can you confirm your captain and your vice captain and the reason for your choices?
I never normally do that, because we can tell you that Kanye Plummer was a captain once, and Bonnie Shaw has been captain before, all the way. But I believe captains should lead from the front. And as of now, we're leaning towards Miss Shaw being the captain. But she has to be comfortable with it. When you select a captain, they have to be comfortable, and you as a coach has to be comfortable. So I don't really go into that, because in different games, I might have different captains depending on who is playing. Yeah, but so reason being, if I'm going to select a captain like Shaw is a good example. I watched her. I've known Bonnie from she's 14. I've had her from she has been 14 years old. So I know everything about her. I know her attitude. I know what she's all about. And if the other players must have show respect for the captain, and I must be able to. The captain is me on the field, right? So the person must be knowledgeable, must be affable. She must be able to get the respect of the other players. So, if I was to answer right now, probably Bonnie would be the captain.
Thank you. And I've got another question here, and I'll be quick, fellow colleagues. You touched on our defensive fragility, and rightly so. I think it's arguably our weakest point on the pitch, weakest area on the pitch. What's the first step to sorting that defensive fragility, and also have you gotten a head start?
I had a head start because I met with one of the defenders. If you're listening to me earlier, if you're here, I mentioned having a one-to-one with a player, because I thought that that's an area. And in our last meeting, as you said, I mentioned to you that's the area I'm going to be concentrating on first. I think individually we have good players, but collectively we're not organized defensively. And as you rightly say, it's one of our weak areas in the team. Unfortunately for me now, though, that with Kanye out and Satara out and some of those players out, the back line is going to be a new backline. So that's my first task, is to get them playing together, how they should move defensively. We made some silly mistakes in a game against USA, and I stand to what I've said. None of those 4 goals that USA scored on us should have scored if we're doing the correct thing as a unit. So that my job right now is to not waste time, but to really pay a lot of attention to the defensive unit. Thanks,
Coach.
Thank you, Crystal. Let's go to the chat room, and I would say it says good morning. This is from Roger. What about the local program? I said, Vin, you spoke up with pride about Jody Brown and so forth, and others. There are others who are waiting to get their day in the sun. What about the local program?
From day one, when I was appointed, or reappointed, I should say, and Mrs. Walker-Bowen can tell you my passion about the local game. It's something that I believe that, and no disrespect to what happened before. I just think that when we went to the World Cup, at the expense of local development. And I make no apologies for that. So our job, is to ensure that working together. This is why, let me jump off a bit, but this is why the performance of our girls is I don't know how we get muted. I think I was muted, unfortunately. You're hearing me now, right?
Yeah, go ahead now, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know if I muted. No, I was saying that to the question that was just asked, the local, I'm always an advocate for local development. And that is, I repeat, Mrs. Walker-Brown can tell you that. We knock heads, Mrs. Walker-Brown knock heads a lot of times because we are so passionate about what we're doing for the local game. And I know where her position is. I know where my position is. We have to ensure that what we do with this Reggae Girlz team, this senior team, right, gives sponsors, right, a look at what the women's game can do. If you look at all these girls that are born in Jamaica and playing their trade, you look at Khadija Shaw, who know earning a living playing the game, and all these young ladies earning a living. We have to now use them as an example. One of the first things I plan to do when we get a chance, and we are settling into a good back home and doing a camp, is to take them across the country. I did that before, and as I said, Mrs. Walker-Brown did here, so she can attest to that. What we used to do before when I had a team is to take them to parishes and play. Robert is on here from IRFM. We played IRFM in St. Jack's Hall, and exposed. The girls were signing autographs, taking pictures with the fans. We have to get back to that stage where it's not all overseas, but locally, introduce our girls locally to the players. And not just when we win a tournament, we parade them around. Before we get to the stage where we go into the World Cup, we should be able to take them into the communities, expose them to people around, the young girls who can't transport, can't get themselves to Kingston to look at the team play. We want to take the girls to them, and the young ladies see what they can achieve. Sign autographs, take pictures. I tell you this, I speaking to Khadija Shaw. People from
Don't
Bermuda.
mention the results, Govin. Don't mention the results.
I'm not mentioning the results. People from Bermuda, even texting Bunny that they want her autograph. They're out of Jamaica. They're not in Jamaica. They're people from other countries. Why wouldn't I be using them now to motivate our young girls? And that's one of the first things I would love to do, is to get that on the road with the young ladies.
All right, let's go back to the chat room, and we have Loy Rice. She's saying, what was the preparation for the upcoming qualifiers?
What?
What was the preparation for the upcoming qualifiers? I think you would have gone through that before.
Yeah, I think I answered that, but let me just say it again. Our preparation has been limited. Our preparation has been online, discussions, and I've actually sent out, not videos, but slides on how we wanted to play. Our first couple of games are our practice games. I'm used to that. This is something that used to happen back in 2005, 2006, 2007, when our first games were always qualifying games. The only difference now is that we have experienced players who are actually playing at the high level. So it's not going to be as hard as when we had it in the early days.
All right. And of course, it says, good morning. This is from Dudley Thompson from Roots FM. He's saying, well, the boys didn't qualify. Now you have a solid team with the girls. Do you feel any pressure?
I think, as I was asked before by you, no. I think I'm experienced enough to understand what happens at the level. I was actually assistant coach to Schaefer. I managed the Reggae Boyz. I managed the girls. I traveled all over. So I'm not really, no, there's nothing in my stomach that's nervous. I don't want to even make that come across to the young ladies as if I'm nervous. I have to have a positive mindset going into this tournament and said that it move out to the young ladies. They're all confident, and that made me positive. You talk to the young ladies, they're ready to go. They're all confident. They don't even think of the first thing I say, oh, these are just practice games. It's for me to get them their mind know where yes, it's practice game, but we have to be serious about them. I'm not pressured really. Yeah, I understand the football. I know what can happen. The fans are there to make me keep me focused. The fans are there to put a little pressure on us so we can do well. And that's a normal thing. I coach Premier League. And when I coach Harborview, it's the same thing I got. People, they curse you here and they come back here win a game, they're okay again. But you see, you have to play for the fans. That's a meta game, it's a meta game. The fans, the media, the managers. That's what the meta game is all about.
Right. So let's get back to Crystal Davis. Crystal, do you have another question?
I do, but Daniel was before me, so I'll allow Daniel
there you
to
go.
speak, and then I'll speak after him.
Okay, go ahead, Daniel.
Much obliged, Crystal. Coach, three-part question, but I'm gonna ask it, separately. First thing I want to ask: this will be the first time that Jamaica will be playing, the Reggae Girlz will be playing at home since starting back up again last year. What do you think it will mean to them and to you, not only to
be able to play at home after the team has had to travel, but being able to play in their home fans, something that unfortunately the boys were not able to do in the last window.
Yeah, and I'm glad you say that, Daniel, because this is for me now to jump and say, you know, for them to be playing in front of their home crowd and getting a taste of the culture. This is why I would love to have 10,000 fans to make a lot of noise in the stadium, let them realize what our culture is all about and how passionate we are about football, and exude into them as players. You know, I think that it's going to be a great look, and it should be an opportunity. I'm hoping if we don't get it now, we're going to be playing again on April the 12th. I'm hoping that what we do here will influence those in control, and according to me, those in control, to get more fans in the stadium for us. But it will be a good look. It will be very, it's something that I think we want to do down the road, even not in official tournaments.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, and I guess that would fit the kind of framework that you want in terms of the players getting, you know, being amongst the people, being amongst the fans. Is that the hope that you want in terms of this tying into what you wanted to achieve earlier?
Definitely. You know, get them involved. You know, I would love during the game, you know, that the fans are there to join. Get even pictures with them after the game. You never know, but it's something that I'm looking forward to. I'm just as excited as the players.
Mm-hmm. But second question, I know that Miss Elaine Walker-Brown's on the call, so either of you guys can answer. In terms of the finalization of the for the players' contracts for the qualifiers, what is the latest on that? And has everybody in terms of signed their contracts for the qualifiers?
But I'll take that one because I've been integral in that process with the General Secretary. I must commend the General Secretary for his patience and his involvement in getting the contract finalized. We are there. There was just one inclusion that should have been done, but all the girls are pleased with the contract, and we are expecting them to sign. If they don't sign it before they come, they will sign it when they come. But there are no issues with the contract right now. All those have been ironed out by the inclusion of my conversation with the General Secretary, Dalton Wint. I tell you, the relationship that we have built in getting this done. You know, so I have to give kudos to him to be able to sit and we have discussion back and forth. And we reach a stage now where the girls are quite delighted with the contract itself.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, Coach, among the new players that you're going to be welcoming to the fold, which are the ones that you're most excited about taking a look at? Because obviously, when you said when you didn't get the players that you want, you know, it presents opportunities for some. So what are, you know, the players that you feel are excited as they, you know, make their, you know, Reggae Girlz debut or hoping to make the Reggae Girlz debut in this window?
All are excited to be here, and I'm interested in all. Once I bring you in, I'm interested to see what you can do. So I have no single player that I have special interest in. They are given an opportunity for them not to come. I don't want to put pressure on them to try and to perform to please me. I want them to become comfortable, you know, playing. That's what football is all about. If you put too much pressure on these young ladies coming in first, of course they're going to have pressure. They might say they don't. They're going to be under pressure because they want to make the team. So I'm going to look at all of them just the same. I've never seen them before. So as long as they come in and they perform, then I'll make my decision based on what I've seen of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Daniel.